So what if your AI could do more than just give you a brilliant plan? What if it could actually, execute that plan for you? Well, that is the promise of Agentic AI. And in this explainer, we are diving deep into the massive, almost 500-page playbook that's about to change how we all work. Agentic Artificial Intelligence by Pascal Bornet and his team. And look, make no mistake, the stakes here are incredibly high. The book kicks off with this massive quote from Bill Gates, and it frames Agentic AI not as just some little upgrade, but as a fundamental, ground-shaking revolution in how we interact with our computers. So, what's the real problem this book is trying to solve? It's something the authors call the AI execution gap. See, we've built these AIs that are brilliant thinkers, absolute geniuses, but they're completely powerless to act. It's like having a team of the world's best advisors who can't even lift a finger to send an email. And this isn't some small inconvenience, it's a massive productivity killer. The book hits you with this shocking statistic. Knowledge workers, people like you and me, now spend up to 60% of our time on what they call work about work. You know what that is? It's all the manual, tedious stuff like scheduling, booking travel, and creating reports just to get the real work done. And the book makes this number feel painfully real. It tells the story of this guy, Brian, who uses an AI to plan a family trip to Greece. The AI spits out this beautiful, poetic itinerary in seconds. Amazing, right? But then, Brian spends the next 4 hours manually checking every single detail, only to find out the hotel's been closed for years, the hidden beach is impossible to find, and the cooking class is totally booked. The AI did the fun part, the dreaming, while Brian was stuck with all the grunt work. That, right there, is the execution gap. So how do we bridge this gap? Well, the book's entire answer, its whole reason for being, lies in this powerful new idea, Agentic AI. Now, the key here is right in the name itself. It comes from the Latin word agere, which literally means to act. And Agentic AI isn't just a thinker or a planner. It is a doer. It's a system that's designed to autonomously pick up and use tools, like your web browser, APIs, different software, to actually take action and get a goal accomplished. And this right here just lays out the shift perfectly. The generative AI we're all using today, that's the column on the left. It thinks, it analyzes, it suggests things. But Agentic AI, the future the book is describing, that's everything on the right. It acts, it executes, it accomplishes. It doesn't just create the vacation plan for Brian, it actually books it. The book gives us this brilliant analogy to make the concept really stick. Think of these AI agents as secret agents. Right? James Bond doesn't just hand Dam a PowerPoint on how to defeat the villain. He gets in his Aston Martin and he executes the mission himself. That's the difference. Okay, now this is a massive book, so I've done the heavy lifting for you and I've boiled it all down to what I think are its 3 most crucial insights. The most practical tip, the biggest mindset shift, and the hidden gem that most people might miss. The authors build their entire framework on what they call the 3 keystones of Agentic AI. You got action, reasoning, and memory. You can think of these as the 3 core pillars that hold up this entire new technology. All right, so here it is, the single most practical tip from the entire book. Before you even think about building anything, you have to give your agent a crystal clear identity. Seriously, think of it like a job description. What is its exact purpose? What are its responsibilities? And this is so important. What is it not supposed to do? The authors just hammer this home. This is the step everyone skips, and it's the #1 reason these projects fail. Now, for the biggest mindset shift. We have to move away from what the book calls goldfish memory. You know how today's AI forgets everything the second you close the chat window? Well, agentic systems have persistent memory. They learn from the past, from successes, from failures. They build real expertise over time, and they transform from just a simple tool into a true long-term partner. And now for the hidden gem, something that I found totally fascinating. It's what the authors call the tool access paradox. Now, you'd think that giving an agent more tools would make it more powerful, right? But the authors argue it often does the exact opposite. More tools just means more complexity, more ways things can go wrong, and a higher chance the agent just gets confused. The key isn't giving it all the tools, it's giving it only the right tools. Okay, but no book is perfect. And to their credit, the authors are very upfront about the current limitations of this tech. So let's be really clear about who this book isn't for. The book openly talks about these gaps. For one, agents still lack basic common sense. They might suggest a meeting at 3 a.m., not realizing that's a terrible idea. They can still hallucinate and just make things up. And most importantly, they have no real ethical compass or judgment. These are not small problems, which means human oversight is absolutely non-negotiable. So here's the bottom line on this. This book is not for someone looking for a quick, easy, plug-and-play solution. It's a strategic guide for leaders who are willing to put in the work, careful planning, real governance, and a serious commitment to change. This is not a weekend project. So what's the one thing you can actually do on Monday morning after getting all this? Well, the book gives us an excellent, really practical framework to get started. It's called the 3 Circles Framework, and it is a brilliant way to find that first perfect project for an AI agent. You're basically looking for the sweet spot where 3 things overlap. First, high impact. It has to solve a real pain point. Second, high feasibility. The process has clear rules and you can get the data. And third, especially for your first go, it should be relatively low effort. Find where those 3 circles meet, and that's your starting point. So after all that, what is the final verdict on Agentic Artificial Intelligence? Is this book actually worth your time? For me, this is a definitive must-read. It's for any leader, any strategist, any professional who doesn't just want to understand the next wave of AI, but actually prepare for it. This isn't just theory. It is a detailed, experience-based playbook for the future of work. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve, you need to read it. Which, of course, brings us to the ultimate question. We've seen the theory, we've seen the frameworks, and the incredible potential. But does the theory of agentic AI actually work out here in the real world? Have you tried building one of these or using an AI agent? I'm genuinely curious to hear your thoughts and what you've experienced, so please share them in the comments below.